Erica, how are things going over there? How's business?
It's a bit tricky because I have to talk through an interpreter, and it takes a lot of time to get through the meetings. But it's going well. It's very stimulating, and it's been good for me. I'm glad I took the plunge and followed my boss.
I see. That's good to hear. I'm sorry to interrupt you while you're working so hard on your overseas business trip, but I have something I want to discuss with you.
What?
I want to talk to you about something I've decided to do.
So, what is it?
I don't think I'm right for this job. The work, the co-workers, it's all stressful.
Again?
What do you mean again?
You just quit your job 2 months ago saying that, and now you're saying it again. It doesn't always work that way, you know. A job doesn't work for you, but you work for the job.
You can say that because things are going well with you. I've been suffering over it ever since I got a new job. I didn't say anything to you, but I can't tell you how many times I've vomited at work.
Huh? That many? But you know how much money we're spending on my mother's care, right?
Of course I do. That's why I didn't tell you.
I'm sorry about that. I try to ask my niece to take care of her as long as she can. But my niece has her own life, and I can't ask her too much. So, if you lose your job again, our finances will be very tight.
I know. Sandy will be in trouble too. I thought about going through with this, but I have been vomiting even more, and I feel like I'm getting sick day after day. If I get sick, I won't be able to work, and there's nothing I can do, right?
What? Has it been that bad?
That's why I decided it would be better to change jobs before I get sick.
I didn't realize you were pushing yourself that hard. I had no idea. Why didn't you tell me sooner?
I thought it would worry you.
No, we're a couple. We can talk about anything. Anyway, let's talk it over once.
So, you don't give up on me?
I can't make you work while you're sick. So let's take our time to figure out a good way to sort this out. Could you wait until I get back from my business trip? Hey, Andy, how are you feeling?
Oh, I'm doing okay. I've been working hard, but nothing's changed. I'm just feeling down.
I understand how you're feeling. As long as you're working, you have to keep going and don't quit. You need to find out what is making you feel down. Maybe you can talk to your boss about it. If he can't write a document well, ask a senior colleague to help you. Or maybe you could try to find out what is making you unsatisfied.
You know, you can easily say that because your work is going well. You're even in a position to go on overseas business trips. You can't possibly understand my problems because you're not like me.
I went through a lot of hardships before I got to where I am, you know. Whenever I had a hard time, I consulted with a trusted senior colleague. I did that over and over again. I gradually came to understand and became more efficient. That's one of the reasons why you shouldn't give up so easily.
You're always looking down on me, aren't you? You've always been doing well, you know. I'm not like you.
That's not true.
Well, even if I lose my job, there's no financial problem, since you're working hard, right?
It is a problem. Caring for a family member is more expensive than you think. I'm also paying back my niece, who is taking care of my mother. If you don't work, we'll have a hard time making ends meet.
Then please take my feelings into consideration too.
What?
I mean, don't be so arrogant.
I'm not saying anything big. I want you to work hard just like I do.
Yes, yes. You're always so admirable, Erica.
You don't have to talk like that. How's work? I keep thinking about you. I'd like to get back home sooner if I could, but I'm on a tight schedule. Tell me, what's going on with you?
I'm a little busy right now. I don't have time to drop a text.
What? What's going on? Is it work?
No, it's not work, but I'm kind of busy with something I really want to do.
What do you want to do?
I've been thinking a lot about my future.
I see. I'm happy for you if you found something you want to do.
Thanks. Well, I'm sure you're preoccupied with your work. You don't have to worry about me.
Don't say that. I'm worried about you all the time. I want to go home as soon as possible. I want to talk about how you're doing at work.
That may not be necessary anymore.
Why?
I told you there's something I want to do. That's what I'm working on so hard.
I'm curious about that. Maybe you found a new job or something?
Not exactly, but you can think of it that way.
Really? Well, what?
I was going to tell you after you got back home, but I guess I can't wait to tell you. Actually, I kicked your mother out of the house while you were on a business trip.
What? What do you mean?
It's because I have to pay for your mother's care. I'm not free to work, right? So I thought I'd kick her out.
Huh? Andy, what the heck are you doing? My mother is bedridden. That's why she needs someone to take care of her. Are you crazy?
Of course I'm straight.
Where is she?
I asked the helpers to take care of her for now.
Ask the helpers? You can't just do that.
Huh? She can't move, so it's not much of a burden for them to take care of her. She needs to be in bed, and all she does is spend money. To be honest, she's a burden. Wouldn't you rather find a nursing home to put her in, on your mother's pension?
What a horrible thing to do. How could you do this to my mother? And I can't forgive you for doing that on your own while I'm on a business trip.
If you have a problem with it, then don't come back. I'm just going to do whatever I want.
What about my niece? How is she doing? There's no way my niece would allow such a thing.
What are you talking about? Sandy immediately agreed with me, you know?
Huh?
I think it's obvious, but she said it was stressful to take care of your mother.
Did she really say that? I feel so sorry for my mother.
Your mother shouldn't be bedridden, right? If she had been able to live on her own, we wouldn't have had to spend so much money. I wouldn't have to go through all this. Sandy would have had more free time. How could you leave your own mother's care to your niece?
I'm sorry about that. But since she lives nearby, I thought I could ask for help.
You're like that in the end. You only think of yourself. If you were as kind as Sandy, maybe this wouldn't have happened.
What? Why are you sticking up for Sandy?
Yeah, when I got rid of your mother, I started living with Sandy in this house.
What?
She helped me take care of your mother. She's very thoughtful. She's kind and honest. She's very different from you.
I can't believe what I'm hearing. I didn't realize it happened during my business trip.
It was before your business trip. Sandy asked me if she could reduce her help in taking care of your mother. We've been making plans together ever since. And then the overseas business trip came conveniently for us. It was now or never, and we were working on it.
Oh no. You two were cheating on me, weren't you? That's terrible.
Now Sandy and I can live a good life together. By the way, I quit my job already.
Huh? Didn't I say we'd talk about it together?
There's no way I'm going to discuss it with you. I'll live in this house for free, work part-time, and enjoy my life. Sandy said she'd be happy to help too.
I never thought you two were so stupid. I never thought. If that's the case, I'll rethink my future. I've worked so hard to be happy with you. Of course, there have been a lot of hardships, but I didn't want to ruin our happiness.
Well, you're brilliant, Erica.
But you only thought about yourself in the end, didn't you? All you thought about was making yourself comfortable, right?
Huh? What are you talking about? You're the one who only thought about yourself. forcing me to work to take care of your mother. You force your niece to help as well.
I'll do everything I can to change the situation.
Huh? It's too late for that now. Anyway, I've already kicked your mother out. I'll live with Sandy from now on. You don't have to come back. If you want, just stay there forever.
No, of course I'm not coming back.
What?
At best, enjoy your life together.
Huh? You finally admit you were wrong? Well, you should be sorry for your arrogance. That's what I had been telling you. Erica, what the heck is this all about? I know you're reading this text. Reply to me.
What is it?
A contractor came out of nowhere and is telling us to vacate this place. You did this, didn't you?
If the contractor told you to move out, you have to move out, don't you? I don't care what you say to me.
This is my house. Why do I have to leave?
What do you mean it's your house? You must have misunderstood something. That's not your house. It's my mother's house.
You and I are a couple, so it's as good as my house, right? Why do you have to evict me?
I've been back home since then. I went to see my mother. I contacted the helpers who took care of her. They immediately told me where she was. My mother couldn't afford to cause us any trouble. She told me to find a cheaper facility.
So, what's the problem? As long as I don't have to pay for it, I can live like this too. And the rent is free. If it weren't for your mother, Sandy and I could live in this house forever.
Don't make fun of my mother.
Huh?
My mother said she's always been uncomfortable with your strange behavior. So when the helpers came, she took the deed to the house out of the drawer and hid it under the bed.
What do you mean?
It's so they can't transfer ownership of the house to someone like you. That's why she left the house with a deed when she was kicked out of the house. My mother said she was going to sell the house and use the money to move into a better facility.
You mean sell the house?
Yes. So she said, I don't have to worry about her. She told me to get a divorce from you as soon as possible.
Huh? What kind of mother she thinks she is? How dare she suggest divorce to her own daughter? What kind of mother wants her daughter to get divorced?
What's there to be happy about? You secretly cheated on me with my niece while I was away on a business trip. You think I was happy to be married to a man who kicks my mother out of the house while I'm on a business trip and then quits his job to live with my niece? Are you kidding me?
If I'm happy, you're happy too, right?
How much of a garbage are you? How long are you going to keep talking nonsense? I'm getting a divorce.
Huh? Does that mean this house will be gone? Are you really going to sell it?
That's what I'm saying. You guys need to get out of there in a week.
Where am I supposed to go if I'm leaving? Oh, okay. You want me to go back to the condo?
Huh? Are you insane? I said I'm divorcing you.
So what?
I got the condo off the lease as soon as I could. I already took my stuff out. If there's anything you need, you better get it out right away. And if you don't take your stuff out of the condo within a week, they're going to dispose of everything.
What? What a selfish thing you're doing.
Which one of us is being selfish? You cheated on me with my niece and kicked my bedridden mother out of the house while I was on an overseas business trip. And then, you started living with my niece in that house without a sense of guilt. That's insane.
Because you're the one trying to force me to work, aren't you?
That doesn't mean you can kick out my bedridden mother. You're a grown man and you have to work, right? And yet I can't believe you want to take over my mother's house and start living comfortably.
Wait a minute. I quit my job. How am I supposed to live without an income?
I don't know. You did this on your own, so do something about it yourself.
Oh, I see. You had my savings, didn't you? Don't tell me you spent it.
Don't be silly. You have your own savings and our joint savings. You spent it all while I was on the business trip. I was surprised when I got back home.
I think it was, I guess. Then where am I supposed to go from here? I need money to find a place to live. I can't even rent an apartment in my current condition.
I don't know anything about that. It's none of my business.
Huh? Don't be so selfish.
Which one of us is selfish? Who left the apartment without permission? Who kicked my mother out without permission? Who moved in with my niece without permission?
It was...
You had it all coming, didn't you? God must have punished you.
Erica, do something about it. In the meantime, can you lend me some money to rent an apartment?
I wouldn't do that.
Then how about you rent a new apartment with me?
Huh? Don't be silly. I told you I'm getting a divorce, didn't I? I've already asked my lawyer to work on it. I'm sure he'll get in touch with you soon.
Are you serious about that? Please reconsider the divorce, please.
Are you stupid? Do you think you're going to get away with this after all you've done? You kicked out my bedridden mother and cheated on me with my niece. I will not forgive you for the rest of my life.
Oh no. Then how am I supposed to live by myself?
I told you I don't know. You're an adult. Figure it out yourself.
Don't say that and do something about it.
How long are you going to keep being a big baby? If you've got time to whine, why don't you get a job right away? Or are you going to have my niece take care of you?
I can't do that, can't I?
You still have some pride, don't you? Then do something about it yourself. It's all your fault for being so naive that you got yourself into this mess. You should learn the lesson from that and do something about it yourself.
I won't find a job right away.
That's what I thought, and I was going to discuss it when I got back home. But you betrayed me so spectacularly that I don't care anymore.
How am I supposed to make money?
You have to find a job, right? If you can't find a job right away, then get a part-time job or something. If you work a few extra hours, you'll make a good living at it.
What am I supposed to do until then?
You could live in the street, or... Oh, you could stay at your parents' house and let them take care of you. I've already told your parents about all this.
Huh? Why are you being so selfish?
Nothing selfish. We're getting divorced, so you can't keep it a secret, can you? Your parents were furious. They said, "How heartless of him to kick out your bedridden mother. I don't want to think of him as my son." They said they would never let you go back to their home.
What the heck?
Well, so you can't even go back to your parents' home. So you might have to live in the street. Wow.
That's too painful. My life is a mess because of you.
How can you say that? I'm the one who got screwed up, remember?
You make it sound so easy. Do you think it's easy to get a job, even a part-time one?
It depends on your motivation. If you really want to work, they will see your enthusiasm. If you do that, I think there will be plenty of opportunities for you to work. In the end, it comes down to whether you are willing or not.
Of course I'm willing to work. But there are cases where the conditions don't match what you want.
Are you saying that at this point? Isn't this the time to be modest about the conditions you wish to work under? You're going to be kicked out of there, remember? You need to understand the current situation a little more.
Don't say such cold things.
Let me tell you something. Once the divorce is finalized, I will charge you and my niece alimony.
Huh? Alimony? How can I pay you alimony when I don't even have a job?
I don't care about that. I can't just let you get away with this for free. You guys betrayed me, and then you kicked my mother out of the house. I will never forgive you.
Wait a minute. We don't have any money, so please don't make me pay alimony.
Don't be ridiculous. You should take more responsibility for your actions. If you think everything will go your way, you are mistaken. Taking over someone's house is not even considered acceptable.
Taking over. I just wanted to live a comfortable life without working.
That's a naive idea.
We just rented a house for that purpose, didn't we? Why can't you understand how I feel?
I have no idea how you feel, and I don't want to know. I'm sick of it. Anyway, I want you out of there within a week. If you have stuff in the condo, get that sorted out too. And then you'll hear from my lawyer. So just do as you're told.
Oh no. Why are you so uptight? Do you take so much pleasure in bringing me down?
How dare you? I'd love to have a little share of that easygoing mentality of yours. Well then, I'll let you talk to my lawyer about the rest. I'm going to block all communication with you.
Wait a minute. We're still married, right? We can still start over, right? Erica, please reconsider. I'll change and I'll be serious.
It's too late.
Erica, please.
After that, Andy and my niece stayed at my mother's house until the last minute. But in the end, they were kicked out by the contractor. They had nowhere to go, so they moved to a cheap motel with little money my niece saved up. He had a hard time getting a divorce, but thanks to the help of my lawyer, it was finally granted. Of course, I filed for alimony against both of them. They started to live in a cheap and shabby motel with the money my niece had. Andy's job was not so easy to find, and now he's working part-time jobs day and night. He has left the company twice in a short period of time, so he has no credibility. He will not be able to get a decent job for a while. He's now working part-time to pay back the money he borrowed to pay his alimony. I used the money from the sale of my parents' house to buy an apartment to live in with my mother. It is not large, but it is enough to live with my mother who is bedridden. I would like to stay home as long as possible, relying on helpers. My work is going well, and I intend to work hard for my mother from now on.